Okay, so picture this. An AI that doesn't just read the words you type, but actually sees the images on your screen, hears the audio in a clip, and understands the world in a way that's much more like how we do. Today, we're diving into the tech that's making that happen, giving AI a brand new set of senses.
So let's just stop and think about this for a second. What if an AI could look at this slide and get the whole picture? Not just the text, but the layout, the colors, why certain things are where they are. That one little question, well, it's the key to a massive leap forward for artificial intelligence.
To really get why this is such a game changer, we have to talk about a fundamental problem with most of the AI we use every day. Turns out it has a huge blind spot. And this table here really lays it all out. The AI we're used to, it's text only. It's amazing with words, don't get me wrong, but it's completely blind and deaf to everything else. All the images, the charts, the audio, you name it. The future, where we're headed, is multimodal. That's an AI that can process the whole spectrum of information, just like you and I do. And this right here is the crucial point. I mean, think about it. So much of what we know and how we communicate is visual or auditory. It's in the way a document is laid out. By only understanding text, AI has been missing out on, well, most of the story. So, how do we fix this? How do we get AI to see the rest of the picture? Well, that brings us to the breakthrough that's basically giving AI a whole new set of senses.
Okay, the first piece of this puzzle is a concept called retrieval augmented generation, or just RAG for short. Now, the absolute best way to think about RAG is like giving an AI an open book exam. Instead of just trying to remember an answer from its training, it gets to look up fresh, relevant facts from a knowledge base before it responds. It makes the answers way more accurate and totally up to date. And this is where it gets really revolutionary. Multimodal RAG takes that open book exam and gives it a massive upgrade. It adds eyes and ears. So now that knowledge base isn't just text anymore. The AI can pull information from images, from audio files, even from videos to find the most complete answer possible. Now, I know this sounds incredibly complicated, right? But the way it all comes together is surprisingly elegant. Let's quickly walk through how the magic actually happens. So, it really boils down to 4 key steps. First, the system just takes in everything you give it: docs, pictures, recordings, the whole shebang. Then comes the really clever part. It translates all of that stuff into a universal language the AI understands, kind of like information DNA. This is what lets it see the connection between a photo of a cat, the word cat, and the sound of a meow. So when you ask a question, it searches across all these connected clues, no matter what they are. And finally, it pulls all those clues together to build one smart, comprehensive answer.
Yeah, that's really the perfect way to put it. It's not just a translator for human languages, but for information itself. It just breaks down the walls between text, images, and audio and lets the AI understand how it's all connected. So that's the how. But, the why is where it gets really exciting. This isn't just some cool tech for the sake of tech. It is sparking a revolution in some really important fields. Let's look at the real-world impact. Let's start in a field where getting the full context can literally be a matter of life and death: medicine. Just imagine a system that doesn't just read a doctor's typed up notes, but can look at the patient's x-ray at the same exact time. A doctor could literally ask, hey, based on this scan and the patient's history, what are the key risk factors here? And suddenly, the AI can connect a little shadow on that scan with a note from last week about a persistent cough. Now, this isn't about replacing doctors, not at all. It's about giving them this incredibly powerful assistant that can see the whole picture. All right, now let's jump to a totally different world: finance, a place where critical insights can be buried deep inside these super dense reports. You know those 100-page annual reports, right? They're just this dense mix of text, charts, tables. It's a lot. Right now, an analyst has to spend hours manually piecing it all together. With multimodal RAG, they could just ask a simple question like, what trend does the sales chart on page 40 show, and how does that square with what the CEO said back on page 5? It instantly connects the dots between the numbers and the narrative. It's unlocking insights that were basically hidden in plain sight. Look, these examples are really just the beginning. The possibilities here are massive, and they all point to a really fundamental shift in how we're going to work with AI.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? For so long, we've been trying to get AI to think like us, but now, for the first time, we're teaching it to perceive like us. We're finally moving away from a flat, text-only digital world and into one where AI gets the full, rich context of our information.
And that leaves us with a pretty profound question to chew on. As AI gains these new senses, as it starts seeing our charts and hearing our meetings, how is our partnership with technology going to change? What new doors open up when our digital tools can finally perceive the world in the same way we do? It's a lot to think about. Thanks for exploring it with me today.